Greetings, my name is Michael Cook. I'm an application developer, design artist, and system engineer, and in this particular video I'm going to be covering the Quake III Arena Live Map Development Kit, or Q3A-Live Map Development Kit. So I have been, this is in the wrong window. I have been working on this particular over the last month and a half. I've been building this utility map development kit. And rather than read all of that first, what I'm going to do is highlight all this code that I wrote, which works with Quake III Arena and Quake Live in order to make maps for the game. I have kind of alluded to this in prior videos. However, I think that this is ready to show off here. So this is the map development kit by BFG20K, which is me. And I'll show this off in a second here. I kind of want to read some of what I did right at the top. It's a graphical user interface that integrates with the code behind that I wrote to accelerate my ability to develop maps for Quake III Arena / Quake Live, which is basically just Quake Live. I'm going to demonstrate how to use this application in order to produce a new map called Dead Center. I have developed dozens of graphical user interfaces that rely on the Windows Presentation Framework, WPF, by combining extensible application markup language, XAML, and PowerShell. Most of them are included in the module Fighting Entropy, but some offshoot GUI related stuff that doesn't require some of the elements in it aren't included in the module. When I go about building a graphical user interface, I take into serious consideration how the application flows as it is being used, as it is essentially a document. Sometimes a complicated idea turns out to be pretty simple to build, but the inverse of that is true as well. Sometimes a very simple idea turns out to be incredibly complicated to build. This function, application, or program as it currently stands does require a fighting entropy, as it makes use of the console logging objects as well as some of the graphics like the window icon and the file and folder validation icons like that. You can find out how to install it at that link right there, or at the very top of this that will install it. As for WPF, XAML, and PowerShell, I like to use this trifecta because it reminds me of the many ways I went about building websites using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to design print and web documents as a graphic design artist. However, I believe that using PowerShell the way that I do is rather phenomenal, and I wouldn't have gone about doing so if it weren't for a couple of dudes, Damien Van Robeys, MVP, and Cyber Commando Michael T. Nyhouse from Microsoft. So I'm not trying to say my work is phenomenal. I'm saying that the WPF, XAML, and PowerShell, I think that it is rather phenomenal to use these to make an application. And I have made previous videos covering like how to go about doing that before. I won't get into what prompted me to really start programming, but the work that these two did definitely pushed me to get serious about it, in addition to Johan Arwoodmark, Michael Nystrom, and Paul Allen. As for Dead Center, this isn't a map that I expect Quake Live players to take seriously, and one map it somewhat plays like is Eye to Eye, which is one room with some added details and lava, and is really meant for just screwing around and aim practice. I first created Test Map 3's / Dead Center in July 2023 as I was reacquainting myself with GTK Radiant in this video. I don't expect everybody to want to watch a 6-hour video with no sound, but in that video I covered the basics of how to start from scratch in building a map for Quake 3 or Quake Live, and how to add a bunch of details and some brushwork. After spending the last couple of months going gung-ho, fiddling around in the editor, all of my map editing skills have resurfaced, not unlike riding a bike. So what got me into wanting to do this was this right here. Yeah, it's not going to launch because I have the console. That console is being used, but that'll work. So the guy Yakuma, whoever Yakumo came up with this whole guide here, and I thought to integrate some of what I've been working on to kind of automate a lot of this stuff. So there's a pretty useful resource, and what I'm going to do is show off this utility. So the first tab is the components tab, which will look for Quake III Arena and Quake Live and the uninstall strings, the registry keys for those programs that are like in the add remove control panel. It'll look for those, and then it'll also look for like 7-zip and Image Magic. Now, GTK Radiant, Image Magic, and Steam. This isn't the actual Steam application. This is the Steam CMD application. This utility will, if I go through this strip that I have at the bottom here, it'll actually remove like all of the dependencies and stuff. So like what I'm going to do is just kind of show that off right now. So this utility that I just ran is going to go ahead and, did it just crash? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's right. I'll load it again in a minute here. I think it's important that people were able to see that this little plus sign says 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So what this does is it looks into the registry for any of the keys that match those, and then it looks for the path, and it's able to find the actual application. So what I'm going to do is close that for right now, because what I want to do is show that I can install all the dependencies and use the tool from the graphical user interface. So that's actually going to remove everything except 7-zip. So let me just double check that. That happened last time, and I'm not sure why it does that. It just hangs on to a particular file or something. So 7-zip and Image Magic. Image Magic is still there. Well, that script doesn't seem to be working the way that I wanted it to. Oh, an error occurred, that's why. Alright, so, whatever. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and minimize all of that. This isn't part of the application that I built. I just wanted to prime it so that I could start from scratch. But anyway, what I'm going to do is go down to right here. So if I hit if I reinstantiate this, it's going to reload that application that I just showed off, right? And now all of these say 0. So what I want to do is I want to set a path for GTK Radiant. So say games, GTK Radiant, make a new folder, GTK Radiant, right? And then I click apply. And now I can install it. And now that's going to go ahead and download GTK Radiant, that version from that string, and then install it. And then I'm going to proceed through the rest of the dependencies and then move through the graphical user interface. So you don't have to like install this with this tool. You can have these already installed, and then the utility will do a decent enough job of finding stuff. So anyway, this GTK Radiant zip file is like 400 megabytes unpacked, so it's taking my system a little bit of time to do that. So at some point I'll probably have like run spacing or multi-threading so that it doesn't lock up the GUI, and then the GUI will show that it's doing stuff. But for the time being, it's not exactly top priority. So okay, so now that is installed. And now after I installed it, it refreshed everything in the panel, and now it says that it is installed. So do the same thing with 7-zip. C drive, program file, 7-zip. Alright, and then apply. That saves it to the registry, but as you can see, it's not installed, so I can install that. And that one is relatively quick. Alright, and then Image Magic. Let's see, I can type it. C drive, program files. image magic. But that path doesn't exist, so that's going to show up as that. So we'll go to that and make the folder with this. Alright, so I got that. I might have to do something with the event handler for that specific case. And then click install. So the clear and the edit buttons are meant like if it's already registered in the registry, then I can edit it or clear it and then start over. But anyway, it's installing Image Magic, and that did that automatically, and there we go. Shows that that's installed. Now you don't need to install Q3A-SE, but it is helpful. So I'm going to put that into this folder here, create a folder named Q3A-SE, alright, and then hit apply, and then install, and that was rather quick. And now here's the Steam CMD thing, which I think is probably perhaps the most important aspect of this utility. So I'm not going to mess with the current directory because I want that to remain there, but I'm going to make another directory there. Alright, and then I can apply that and then hit install. And now that's not the full installation, but that'll allow me to proceed. And then yeah, if we go to why isn't GTK Radiant thing showing up? Well, yeah, anyway, this is supposed to populate with information about GTK Radiant. For some reason it's not doing that, but that's alright. And now I'm going to go into the workspace tab here. Now after I set that path, which pulled from the registry, anytime that you use this, it's going to save the value to the registry in a certain particular key. And within that folder, there's a log file, and in that log file you can see like all the times that I've used my program here to you know, make edits and compilation updates. So anyway, there's that. And then I can see like all of the file system entries within my workspace folder. So anyway, that's not exactly pertinent or critical to show off, but this right here allows me to type in a name of a map that I have in my Quake III Arena maps directory, and I can click apply, and then it'll use that map file to basically come up with all this information related to the map. So like now in this map tool, I can compile it, and I can package it, and I can transfer it to both game directories, and I can also play it with this little script block here. And then if you know, everything is going well and gravy, I can hit publish and then actually upload it to Steam. So what I want to do right now is what I'm going to do is open up NetRadiant. I know NetRadiant and GTK Radiant are different, but I have issues running GTK Radiant on my system for some reason. So what I'm going to do is open up NetRadiant, open up that map dead center, and then what I'm going to do is you know, I made a couple of videos featuring Quake Live mapping, and I didn't talk about I didn't make any commentary in those videos, but you can use the right mouse button to use the camera to move the camera up and down and left and right and turn and stuff, and then you can use the directional keys to do so. But sometimes what happens is when you go to do that, it won't initialize, and then it'll just keep moving around like this. So anyway, this is a map that I have been working on. I did talk about like when I first made it and everything. I'm not going to change too much about it, but I wanted to show off that that I can edit it, right? And then I'll say I haven't edited it yet because there's no star there. So let's say I move these little boxes. I move that box over to there. Okay, and move that one there. And I can compile it. Maybe I want to do that for over here, or over there. Yeah, I'm not really going to change much about this. I was thinking about moving the weapons to like right there, right there, right there, and right there. But the way that I have it set up right now is that there's a rocket launcher there, there's a plasma gun there, there's a lighting gun down below. All the weapons are basically right on this line here through the map. And the red armor and the mega health. And there's a couple of yellow armors, and then there's a quad damage down here. I made a video yesterday morning showing off this map, but I didn't really use the tool to do that. Well, I used the tool to make that map, but I didn't use the tool in that particular video is what I was trying to say. So I'm going to click save. I didn't change very much about it. I'm going to go ahead and close that, and then I'm going to do is hit compile. Pretty sure this is going to work okay even with that data grid that wasn't showing up. So now it is compiling everything basically from the graphical user interface. All right, this should only take like a minute or two. It's not going to take that long. And while that's going, yeah, I can't really show off anything else in the graphical user interface because it's locked. I have to implement run spacing or some sort of multi-threading to get the UI thread and all of the processes that I'm running to work in parallel, which is kind of pain in the neck to do all of that. And you can't do it until you have like a working prototype anyway. So that's what I'm demonstrating right here. So this fully compiles level. It creates the BSP and the AAS file, and then it moves into the workspace directory named Dead Center. And then what I can do is click package, and then it uses the 7-zip to be able to create a hash file and then update that log that I showed off, and then now I can transfer it. Now the image magic part is useful because if I want to update the screenshot here, I can click import, and then that'll open up a file browser, which I don't want to do that right now. At some point I'll demonstrate how that works, but basically I just use that, and then I click a screenshot to update it, and then what I can do is package it and then transfer it. So I think, yeah, I transferred it. So now what I can do is I can play it. So I'm going to do that. It's showing the Steam overlay on the other screen, and not allowing me to move it. That's okay. Alright, so my laptop is not the best, and I don't normally play at 1920 by 1080 on this thing, so it might run real slow as compared to usual. And I got pick-nip all the way down. Yeah, it's struggling to record and do that. Anyway, this is the map. I'm not gonna play it. I made a video yesterday of me playing it, but I did move those blocks, and yeah, the pick-nip is pretty useful sometimes. So anyway, I say yeah, it's testing okay, so now I can publish it, and then it'll open up the Steam tab, and then in the registry key it has a path to a credential file, so I can change that with the apply button, and I can browse and change it that way too, but I want to load it, so I'm going to load that, and then it loads it, it validates the information as it's in. Then I can click assign. It's going to assign it and then use it. And then since this Steam CMD utility hasn't been run before, I have to click setup. So I'm going to do that. and I'm going to say yes. All right. So now it's going to run through all of that. And yeah, this takes a minute here. So the actual Steam application, if you log into the Steam CMD while the Steam application is open, what'll happen is it'll disconnect you from that Steam session. So now I gotta check my email. There we go. Q and H. All right. So I entered that in, and then it's going to continue doing whatever. And then once it is, then what will happen is it'll go back to the GUI. So once this process is complete, it actually looks through the log file to determine whether or not the login was successful. Yeah, I'm sure there's some way for me to work with the API directly, but all right, so that worked. The credential works, and then the workshop, where I have all my workshop stuff, I'm going to click apply there. That's saved in the registry as well. And now this map here, you know, what I wanted to do is do this from nothing, because I forgot to delete the folder. And these are things that I think about as I'm developing this stuff. C drive / game / Steam workshop. Oh, it's looking in the wrong place. It's looking in the, I didn't change it. These are the things I have to like mull over as I'm like working on it. But anyway, I can fix that right now and then rerun through the whole thing. I don't have to reinstall everything. I can just go right to where was it? All right. So I'm doing that manually because why not? Go ahead and click apply, go to map, dead center. Because I have all the dependencies installed, I don't have to stick around. I can just skip right ahead. And then click publish, go to the Steam thing, load that, assign. I don't have to test it, I already did that. This is still putting in the wrong thing. Oh, it's because that folder doesn't exist. So I'll have to implement that. All right. So now this is like a brand new project template. And what I'm going to do is go to the VDF thing, and then I'm going to say dead center, and then change this to small map for aim practice. And then I'll put alpha version 0.1. All right, and then hit apply. And then that'll actually propagate to this. And I can see the preview, the screenshot that was showing up before, and all the files that are going to be uploaded, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and click upload. And then once that's uploaded, then I can actually see it in the browser. So October 3rd at 7:14 p.m. It's right now. So this is proof that the utility that I just used uploaded that, and then yeah, that's basically it. Yeah. I think that's pretty much it for this video. I didn't want it to be like a super mad long video. If you liked what you saw, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe. And thanks for watching.